it was fun. I was really lost. You know, it was a thing where I just got to Jacksonville. We had no real plan. We just knew we had to film stuff. There was only allowed 10 people in the building at that time. So we didn't even have anybody dotting the audience to make any energy whatsoever. And it was a thing where it was just like, all right, well, let's just get this in the can. We'll set up, kind of cobble together a little program really quickly. You can drop me, no cellar DDT, choke me out. And then we'll build a low world title match, and let's just do it tonight, get it in the can, because we didn't know when we'd be able to film again. So, you know, we just went out to the ring and wrestled, and it was actually really fun. It's different energy, you know. It's obviously so awesome the adrenaline spike and just the crazy fun of coming out of the crowd at a live AEW Dynamite where the house is packed and they're going nuts and walking through the people, high-fiving and getting ready to get into a big brawl or whatever. You know, like the adrenaline is like off the charts. You know, for this, you have to go to a different place, and you got to, you know, to me, for some matches, you know, I'll work myself up to the point where matches or promos or whatever, I'll work myself up to the point where I think I really hate this guy and I really want to go out there and hurt him. So I guess it's similar in that way. You know, in a movie, you got to bring the energy from within. And you know, during that match, you know, it had that nice like Florida humidity, broke a nice little sweat, got in a groove, just kind of free flowing and wrestling, and we beat the absolute hell out of each other, and it was quite fun. You know, Roddy Piper told me once, you know, I had a pretty good relationship with him, and one time he came to like a SmackDown or something, and I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, but I was out there wrestling, and I did something, and I was just kind of soaking in the adulation of the crowd or playing to the crowd or something like that. You know, and he came to the back and found me and was like, you know, he's like, you went too much of a baby face or something. I can't remember how much he's like, don't even worry about them. He's like, you look at the guy's shoes. Or I can't remember what he said. He said something like, just look at the guy's shoes or something. But basically he was saying you focus on your opponent, you're there to hurt him, kind of thing. If you go back and watch one of the best entrances you'll ever see, again, on a weird tangent, but one of the best entrances you'll ever see is Roddy Piper, Starrcade, I believe 96 against Hogan, where he beats Hogan with a sleeper, but yet it's somehow inexplicably not for the world title, I think. But if you watch just Roddy Piper's entrance, from the moment he walks through the curtain, his eyes are locked on Hogan. And it's just like, it's like this death march to the ring. And even though he was, you know, in his 50s with an artificial hip, when you watch that and you watch the entrance, you're like, this dude's going to war. This is going to be an absolute, like, he's going to the gallows. He does not give two craps right now. He's going to, like, this is going to be a fight. And that's a cool, you know, it's a cool thing to learn for people. Anything that's good and entertaining is good. So even if we're back to crowds, you know, next year, I still wouldn't mind seeing another Boneyard match because I thought that was pretty cool, you know? So anything that's good is good. And, you know, that it's not so much wrestling as it is filmmaking and storytelling and acting and so forth. But wrestlers we're kind of, you know, in AEW or, you know, in WWE, we're kind of the Navy SEALs of entertainment. We can do a little bit of it all. You might come to the ring and have a bunch of dialogue back and forth with a guy who comes out, and then he comes to the ring, and then you have an impromptu match for 20 minutes. And so that's basically like a 20-minute fight scene. And then you might get put through a table or thrown off the stage at the end of it. So it's basically like a stunt, and you're doing your own stunt. So we do the dialogue, the action, and the stunt all in one take on live TV. So I think it shows how these cinematic things, I think, shows how versatile professional wrestlers can be and how creative they can be. And, you know, a lot of the, you know, this, sometimes I say like, oh, we got the easy job. We just get to go out there and wrestle. It takes an army of people to make live TV happen, you know? So we had to go out before AEW started and get the best people in the truck, to be directors, producers, cameramen, and they at AEW especially, you know, I learned a lot about working with the camera guys and, you know, talking to the director and so forth about the shot you want for a match, and or make sure you pick this up or whatever. And at AW, it's very synergistic with everybody, where I'm always talking to the director and the camera guys, and what's the best place for me to come out of the crowd in this particular arena, or like, we want you to catch this or don't catch this. One time I had Joe Janela put me through a table. I think it was Joe's idea. Like, we specifically had the camera. We were like, okay, don't leave me. Like, they had the camera stay on me, whereas normally they would cut to him. So you don't, because you want to see him do the big flying elbow drop through the table. But it was really cool because we had him stay on me, and then he just came flying into frame, like, over the camera. And it was just a cool, different way to do a shot. It made it seem like more unpredictable and real, and like, we got the kind of freedom to do cool stuff outside of the box, stuff like that in AEW. But definitely during these times, you're gonna see how versatile professional wrestlers can be. I think that's why we're always good in films. If you had a professional wrestler on your cast for a movie, whatever the part, you can guarantee that guy is going to be hardworking. He's not going to complain. He's going to be easy to work with. He's going to bring 100%, and he's going to probably pleasantly surprise you with how well he does. Batista has shown that. Obviously, The Rock and Cena. I think even like athletes, like Chuck Liddell, Luke Rockhold in this movie, I think the work ethic of professional wrestlers and athletes, when you bring that to a film set, where you might have like spoiled actors who want their green M&Ms or whatever, but like athletes and pro wrestlers who are used to the grind, sitting on even though it can be tedious, doing a million different shots and sitting on set for 10-12 hours, we're just looking at it like, hey, we just get to play cops and robbers and shoot bad guys and hang out at a movie set for 12 hours. That's not a bad gig, so you won't get a lot of complaining.